How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Down to Earth with Christian Harloff. This is our daily UAP news. If you're brand new to the channel, you've never been here before, subscribe for daily updates. And we try to break down the latest and greatest of what's going down in the UAP phenomenon. We have a full podcast. It's just called UAP Tuesdays on The Big Thing. That's on my other channel, and that's every Tuesday. That playlist is on this channel, but this is for the daily news. So, news has been heating up, especially since that AARO DoD report came out over the last week or so. And essentially, if you're not caught up with it, AARO came out and said, listen, there's no reverse engineering program. We didn't find any evidence of that. We didn't find any alien life, none of that. So please, let's stop talking about it, move along. Let's focus on something else. And everybody else is like, no, it doesn't work like that. It's not 1945 anymore. You're not just going to shush people because there's more out there. So there's been a lot over the last couple of days, whether it's Danny Sheehan talking about the stuff that he had particularly seen. There's weird stuff going on where things are getting wiped off a Google map with reports to USOs and things. It's just there's so much of it. Ross Coulthart has been on the front line since the beginning, when he's especially talking to David Grush. He was the one that had the interview with him on News Nation. He's been talking about how he hears a lot of things. He was the guy who broke the story, essentially, of what was going to be in that AARO report, and was also known that News Nation was not one of the outlets that was invited by the DoD and the Pentagon in general to be there. So now Ross Coulthart is saying a little bit more that is very interesting, that as where AARO said there is no reverse engineering program. Not only Ross Coulthart, as there's letters as reported on yesterday to the Speaker of the House to put another committee to do further investigations on this. Not only is that going down, and not only does Congress feel like there might be something to this, apparently, when you hear Ross Coulthart, that they are aware of the reverse engineering program. Let's play a little bit of this clip from Ross Coulthart, and then we'll talk about it on the other side. Here it is.
Because believe me, what we're talking about here, and I find it breathtaking, because you sort of feel, sometimes I just feel I was walking down a street in Washington and I was looking around at the people around me and thinking, my God, you people don't know what I know. And I'd just come away from an incredible conversation with a staffer in the Congress who was telling me what they knew was going on. And it's revelations of direct first-hand witness evidence of a retrieval program and a reverse engineering program inside the United States, mainly run by private aerospace companies, but also overseen by a very small group of gatekeepers in the defense and intelligence community. And the thing I found breathtaking was that even at that stage, this is a few weeks ago, I had an intimation that this historical review was coming out and that it was going to be a cover-up. And I couldn't believe that the Defense Department would be so not only bold, but bloody stupid as to do this in defiance of what Congress knows it's being told. But they have been. And that's where this is getting exciting, because they've now put their flag in the sand. Yeah. They've said, this is our position. Yes, there's the BS reports from the Robertson panel and the Condon Review and Project Blue Book. This is the Defense Department's stand. Yeah. They've now nailed their colors to the mast.
Okay, so that's very interesting because of everything we've been talking about the last couple of days, right? This is AARO pretty much saying, this is the report. This is what we've always done this before. We tell you guys this isn't true, and you guys stop talking about it, and we move on, and then everybody, we just cover it up the way we used to, and that's it, right? And this time it's like, no, because this time Congress is being told things, and they asked yesterday, hey, are you guys going to stop now? Do you believe? Like, no, of course we don't believe it. We're hearing all these different things. We're asking the speaker to give us more. We're not paying attention to that. The fact that they just totally disregarded it and said, no, we're going to ask the speaker because we know, this is what Ross Coulthart is saying. We know. We were hearing more things. We're hearing forever. We've heard, whether it's the Lockheed Martins or whoever it is, they're covering something up. We know this. We keep getting the investigation that we know. We have to investigate what it is. What are they working on? And what other companies never got a chance to bid on them? But there's so much more. Like, they're tracing the money, and that's where they're going to make this thing a case. They're tracing the money, and it's less about. That's what people always say when you talk about UFOs or UAPs. It's like, well, aliens. And Tim Burchett will be the first one to say it. It's not about that. It's about the money itself of where is all the taxpayers' dollars going? Where's all this money going that is unaccounted for, that these programs have been running these things, and what are they working on? And if it is a crash retrieval, where the hell did they get it? What is there stuff that the American people should know? Because I've always talked about it. And the other thing that has been around for a bit is the idea of what catastrophic disclosure is, right? Now, there's a lot of different definitions to it. But the one that I always brought up was the fact that another country could essentially beat us to it and do it first. Well, that could be the case because here's a report, and this is UFO news at the Brazilian Congress. UFO news at the Brazilian Congress. I will help Senate staff. This is from Rony Vernet. I will help Senate staff to prepare a letter to the commanders of our 3 armed forces branches to initiate the conversations regarding more transparency about the UFO topic. This is an action that had already been negotiated with senators during the 2022 hearing. Due to the tradition of our military to be far more open about it than other countries, I hope this congressional effort will ultimately culminate on the release of new documents, photos, and videos. For people who write, and maybe not as much on this channel, but people who write, oh, why is it the U.S. government that only sees UFOs that talks about this stuff? Clearly, that's not the case. And clearly, if the cover-up continues to happen here, eventually I do believe that there will be another country that does what Brazil is doing and says, if they're not going to talk about all the stuff that they have, we might not have as much, but we're going to talk about what we do have. And here it is. So there's a lot there today. There's a lot. What will it lead to? It's the same question, I guess, every single video right now. Will it lead to anything, or is it just more kind of like hyped up? Oh, they know about the program, but are they going to show anything about it? I don't know. It seems like there's more to that. There seems like there's a lot more to that. It seems like there's going to be, well, all these little puzzle pieces are leading to something. That all these little puzzle pieces about writing to the speaker, and then the knowledge that Congress has about information about these private companies that are looking into these crash retrieval programs. Will this information, will these whistleblowers, these firsthand witnesses come forward in this public hearing that could potentially happen that we're talking about? I leave it to you. Comment. Tell me what you think. Do you think that this is all stuff that could be something? And as always, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments, be part of the conversation. I'll see you back here tomorrow.